Morning, folks. Day soap is brought to us from Wet the Face. This one here, Tart Lemons. It's frozen lemon ice. This is the one I've been talking about for almost 2 weeks now, off and on. And that's what it looks like there on the inside. Yes, it is yellow. And yes, the lemon and the menthol rolls right on out of the jar without a problem. Jumping right over to the bowl here. Got it whipped up here in this wooden bowl. It has what I guess you might say referred to as concentric rings. In other words, it's not spiral rings, but just separate rings going all the way down towards the bottom. And it is pretty wet. And yeah, there you go. There's the drip. I've got it whipped up with a brush, C-Mon, in other words, a Carl Monkhouse, Heritage Collection. There we go. And it's got a synthetic knot cashmere, but it's it's pretty wet and it smells fantastic, especially if you like lemons. For me, it does great wonders for my nose. I pick it up without a problem. It's rather simple, and I appreciate that sort of thing. Also, here it is, Thayers Witch Hazel, and you can kind of sort of see it. Yes, it is lemon. And one thing I wanted to mention for those where it might matter, for me, kind of, sort of, it doesn't. This particular label is very paper-like. In other words, it's not quite like the Humphreys where it's a very water resistant, resistant humidity and that sort of thing. So if you're keeping this in your bathroom and it's out on the counter or shelf or whatever, this sort of label, in my experience, this will start to wrinkle up over time. If that is a problem for you, you might want to keep it somewhere else. For me, it doesn't matter one way or the other, but just something to point out about something unique about this one here. This particular container has 12 fluid ounces. There's a sticker, found it at TJ Maxx, and you can see the price there. And bargain hunting, if you will. And that's what I'm going to be using for Witch Hazel today. I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning. And so I'm going to go ahead and wet it and get started with the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Pre-Shave Cube. And it is the Ice Cube, methylated. We're definitely going down that path today. The razor of the day, the blade, going to be used in Lord Cool again. There's the wrapper in case you haven't seen it. This is a fairly thick wrapper. So if you like snapping blades in half and you feel more comfortable with a wrapper that is thick in the way of wrapping, this one here might be just right up your alley. It is a Teflon coated blade that I'll be using here in the Winning razor. This one here is CNC made, so it's not polished, so in other words, you're going to see machining marks on it and whatnot, but it's very well made. It is one of those last year lifetime. Last video I used this razor and I failed to mention, and I had every intention to. There is a magnet right there on the end, so you can pick blades up off the counter and whatnot, or just sit and play with it. Just one of those things. Magnets kind of fascinate me, but it is a really nice razor, and as you can tell, it does have the preset angles there. Very much a thing, which is very helpful for those that are, that are new to wet shaving, to help get the angle that is expected from the manufacturer. I'm trying to sneeze again. It is that time of year for me. But that kind of preset angle does help new shavers, as well as anybody that's unsure what the angle was meant to be to shave with. It does give you a hint with that preset angle. Not saying you couldn't adjust it and do whatever that works best for you, but in my opinion, it seems like a lot of times the preset angle works best for me. All right, whip up a little bit of lather here, work this into the face. Aftershave I'm going to be using at the end of the shave is going to be the Stirling Lemon Chill. I should go ahead and mention that also, since I'm already going down that vein of thought. Got an email yesterday from Stirling about releasing a lot of their lemon chill, their chill or glacial formulas. And one of them that I noticed that was on the list was Obsidian. Now, Obsidian, if you're unfamiliar with it, it's like black ice, and both are made by Stirling. Black ice is licorice type scent, and then Obsidian is a ramped up version. It's yeah, that's like fantastic. Really do like it. And I had noticed that this past year that it wasn't available, but this year it is. So if you're like me, and if you like black ice and Obsidian, it is now available. And I was hoping they'd come back with it. In other words, they discontinued it permanently, and I missed out on a chance of stocking up. But yes, it is back in stock now. I do have Stirling's Witch Hazel that is black ice, but I notice Obsidian is not on that list. Not on. Not only did I not see any Witch Hazel, but I didn't see any aftershave balm either. And I don't know if they ever did make the aftershave balm in Obsidian, but they do in Lemon Chill. It is a little bit late in the morning. You might be able to hear the families up on a Saturday morning. Tonight is prom for my son, and so we have all those festivities going on. Yesterday was a blur. Running down all the stuff for the prom, and my son just recently started his very first job, so working out all those details and talking about, all the events that happen at work. And he's working at a restaurant. He's bussing tables. I think it's fantastic. Got to start somewhere, and he definitely is starting at the right spot, at the bottom. Learning all the tricks of the trade, all the goings on, humble beginnings. But it's yeah, I enjoy it. It's one of those things that you enjoy with your kids, it's watching them grow. Working at a restaurant like last night, and the time that he was supposed to get off and the time that you actually do get off, yeah, they're totally different. He got off a lot later than what he was supposed to be getting off. And with a restaurant, you know how it is. People show up. They're not, a lot of customers, it's not one of the front things to their mind. They show up, the last hour, 30 minutes of the open time. And not only are they ordering quite a bit of food, and they're taking their time and just enjoying the evening. And it's well past closing time, and those folks are still in the restaurant. So it is, he's getting that experience, and also it helps him bring up to the front of his mind, when he goes into a restaurant, to be mindful of certain things. Yes, learning. It is fun to watch it. Yeah, I like it. It's just one of those things, over time, you try to be, help your kids be mindful of certain things, and now they get to experience, and it's just not dad's, just ranting and raving. Yeah, yeah, it does affect people. When you get off work an hour later than you're supposed to. Actually, for him, it was 2 hours later. It was pretty late last night. So when Dad got home, I was way past my bedtime. But it helped with my wife's, I guess you might say, one of the things that she's been pushing for me to do, especially on the weekends, is to sleep in instead of continually getting up around 4 or 5 in the morning. So this morning I did sleep in. I was tired. Plus I was fighting a headache. We had weather come through. Most of Oklahoma, Kansas, and I'm not sure, I think it may have reached down into Texas. But I know Kansas did get, I was watching the radar to see where it was coming from, where it was going, And I noticed Kansas did get their fair share of it. Parents are up in the Wichita area. So it's not uncommon for Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas to share a lot of the same weather, if you will. I think last go around we had an EF0 and an EF1, and I think Kansas had a tornado last night. I think here locally we got pretty lucky. It might have picked up wind-wise, and I didn't really notice by the time I went to bed, which was, what, going on midnight? Not a whole lot, in other words, in a way, that kind of weather going on here locally. But out to the west in Oklahoma, I noticed they were getting their fair share of the weather. A lot going on. This is basically more or less we're into May, and May is going to be a very busy month for me. So it'll be interesting to see how the videos roll out. I guess you might say I'm taking advantage of the moment of doing lots of videos now because I really don't know how May's going to play out. I say it's very busy, son graduating and all the things that needs to take place. I'm expecting, it to be kind of tough sometimes. And at times, I might be able to make the video, but responding, it might be late. Speaking of that sort of thing, that is one of the things I've noticed, is that notifications it's been a while since I mentioned it, but it has happened in the past a few times where notifications in other words, I might get an email about a comment. So you click on the email and you read the comment, and then you're going to respond to it and you hit reply, and it takes it to YouTube and the comment's not there. Give it a while. In other words, it could be as quick as a week, or it could be 3-4 months down the road, and all of a sudden it pops back up. It's there. I have no idea why that happens. But if you make a comment and you notice that something funny's going on with it, you go back to the video, you notice the comment's not there. Yeah, that sort of thing does happen. And it goes more than just a few months also. I've had it happen where it go back years where the comment would finally pop up. Don't know why. It's kind of a strange thing for me. Not sure why things happen like that, but you can imagine YouTube, is as it goes for the site, everything involved with YouTube is pretty big. So I imagine they probably have some glitches from time to time, and eventually it catches up with itself, corrects itself, if you will. No stinging this morning. Very smooth shave. This blade does work well, rather well for with this razor, in my opinion. I do like this blade. It's probably one of those blades that fly under the radar for most folks. Probably don't even know exist. And it was just one of those times where I was picking out different blades here and there and to give them a try. And this one here was one of them, and fantastic. All right, Thayers Witch Hazel Lemon. This will be my first time go with this one. Oh, and if you're wondering, that's what the top looks like. Now, I did smell this out of the container. I do pick up the lemon right off the start, but if it's anything like some of the other scented witch hazels, I don't think any of them were designed to, last for a real long time. So if you were just using this as your daily driver, as goes for witch hazel on a daily basis, concerned about the lemon maybe interfering with the scent of the product that you happen to be using. I mean, if I put my hands up there because it's on my hands, I can smell it. But when I take my hands down, just a little bit, maybe. And that might have more to do with the residue of the soap. But here it is, Lemon Chill. I do like these sort of scents. This one here is glacial, so it's going to have a fantastic cooling effect on my face. They also have orange if you like an orange chill. Gonna be nice and lemony this morning. Yes, I do enjoy wearing stuff like this and getting seeing the facial expressions and the comments from the family. It is always fun. Get a good laugh some days. Hope everybody's doing well on this Saturday morning. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.